everyone, welcome to the very first Victory Equine video of 2025. I'm very glad to have you here today. So I've been getting a lot of questions lately from people who are considering a career in equine bodywork, and I thought now would be the perfect time to make this video. This is 5 things that you should know before becoming an equine bodyworker. Let's jump right into it. Number 1, there is no specific license for becoming an equine massage therapist or an equine body worker, at least not yet in the United States. So I'm not totally familiar with what goes on in other countries. I know that Europe has a veterinary physiotherapy degree, which sounds really cool, sounds really informative, but here in the United States, we don't really have any options like that. It's not like human massage school where you can go and get your license and then you are a massage therapist. Instead, what we have in the United States is a certification process. So anyone can get certified as an equine body worker, and those certifications vary really widely in the amount of training that you actually get. So like for me, I went to a certification program that had both online learning, in-person learning, and a whole lot of hours of case studies practicing on horses. And at the end of that time, it was about 1.5 years, 2 years long, and I got a certificate of completion, and I'm now a certified equine body worker. On the other hand, people can also take a very short course online in just a day or two and also get a certificate of completion and be an equine body worker. Although obviously the amount of training that you can get in 2 days is not the equivalent of what you can get in 2 years. So while there are many certification programs in the United States, many of them are not reputable and they don't give you the information that you need to appropriately go out and work on horses. And unfortunately, this has given body workers a bad rap. For equine body workers that have already completed a certification and want to further their knowledge or to hold themselves to a higher standard of education, there are a couple different organizations that can help them with that. One of those organizations is NBCAM, which is the National Board of Animal Acupressure and Massage. Another one is the International Equine Bodywork Association. So I will add some links below to both of those sites if you would like to visit them and learn a little bit more, but those are one way that current body workers can further their knowledge and also hold themselves to that higher standard, since we don't currently have any license or degree program to become a body worker. Number 2, bodywork is not legal in every state. And unfortunately, this is due to the previous problem that I just mentioned. Body workers have gotten a bad reputation for being underqualified for the work that they're doing. So you will have to check, if you are planning on becoming a body worker, that you can legally perform body work in the state that you work. States can fall into 4 categories. The first one is veterinarians only. In these states, only people with a doctorate of veterinary degree can perform body work. And on one hand, this is good because the horses are being well taken care of. On the other hand, there is already a shortage of equine veterinarians, and they are very busy just being veterinarians. So it means that in those states, there are a lot of horses that are lacking body work that they would otherwise benefit from. The next category is veterinary supervision. So in those states, you can do equine body work, but you need to have direct supervision from a veterinarian, which can make things pretty complicated. The third option is that you need veterinary approval. So in these states, you need some type of formal writing saying that the vet gives their approval for you to do body work on the horse. This can definitely work. It's a little bit more complicated and cumbersome, but I do think that it helps to foster good relationships with the veterinarians in those states. And then the last option is that body work is freely allowed in the states. And this is either because that state has a law saying, yes, you can do body work, or that there are no specific laws regarding body work as of right now. So Florida, the state that I live in, is actually one of these states. We have a bill signed in 2006 stating that equine body work is allowed. On one hand, this is great because it's something that I don't have to worry about. I don't have to work with veterinarians if I don't want to. But on the other hand, it has its drawbacks. There are plenty of people that are underqualified that come to work in Florida simply because they're allowed to. And as a result, we have a lot of horses that are being injured by people that are underqualified for what they're doing. There is a website that kind of breaks down what the laws are for each state, and I've found that to be very useful, so I will link it below. And then if you have any further questions on the legality of it in your state, you can definitely reach out to the vet board and do some more research on it. But you'll definitely want to consider if bodywork is legal in your state before diving into this career, and if it's not, then you may have to consider moving to a different state. The third thing that you're going to want to consider before becoming an equine bodyworker is your location. So kind of similar to the last point, you want to make sure that bodywork is legal in your state, but even more than that, you want to kind of judge the location and see realistically how many clients can you get, because the amount of clients that you have is going to have a big impact on your success as a business. So here's a couple scenarios. Let's say that you live in Wyoming. Wyoming has a very low population to begin with, so it's a big state with very few people. Chances are fewer people means there's fewer horses. So as a body worker, you're going to spend a lot of time driving to only have a couple of horses to work on. And I'm not saying you can't make it work in this state, but it will definitely be more challenging. Now let's say that you live in Tennessee. Tennessee has a higher population in a smaller area, and that population has more horses. Tennessee is probably a good place to be an equine body worker for this reason. It's a good population of horses in that state. And now let's talk about the other extreme end. So let's say that you're in an area that is extremely horse dense. For example, I live about an hour from Ocala, Florida, which is considered by many people to be the horse capital. So there's a ton of horses in Ocala. You would think that would be a great place to be a body worker, right? Well, unfortunately, because there are so many horses in that small, densely populated area, that means that there's also already a lot of body workers. The area is kind of oversaturated with people in the equine bodywork field. For me, I have a couple of clients in Ocala and I enjoy going up to see them, but honestly, I don't make too many regular trips up there because there's already so many body workers right at their fingertips that they really don't need to even call me from an hour away. They probably have 5 different body workers within a 10-mile radius. I'm not saying that you can't be an equine body worker in any of these situations. You absolutely can if you are determined enough, but I would recommend that you do your research before jumping into it. You want to research the area and see realistically how many horses are there and what disciplines are those horses doing. Also consider how much driving are you going to have to do? How many other body workers are already working in that same area? These are just some things to think about. Number 4, equine bodywork is an up-and-coming field. It's still growing, it's still new, and there's a lot of changes. I think it can be really overwhelming for someone that is considering a career in equine bodywork and they're just getting into it and they're starting to do some research. There is a lot of information out there. There are so many courses that they want you to sign up for and get a certification in. There are so many tools and gadgets that can supposedly make your body work better. Some of those tools are legitimate and some of them are not. There's so many books, so many trainers. It just goes on and on and on with the amount of information that is out there about equine bodywork, and some of it's great and some of it's garbage, so it can be really hard to navigate what you should actually be focusing on. My tip for this is to specialize. Really dial in and focus on one thing that you want to be good at. Do lots of research before you sign up for a course and determine what that one modality is that you want to do really, really well. I see a lot of practitioners out there that try to do it all. You look at their credentials and they have so many courses, so many different modalities, and while it's good to learn new things, I think that it is a lot better to specialize and be really good at one specific modality than to be kind of okay at doing everything. Unless you plan on opening a rehab facility that does it all, there's no reason to do that in your bodywork business. I recommend finding one thing that you really believe in, that you want to specialize in, and then adding a couple modalities that complement your specialty, but don't try to do it all. Even after you have a successful business and you've taken certifications and you do your job really, really well, people will still be skeptical of your work because bodywork is a new field. Because it's something that is unfamiliar to people, they will struggle to believe in it sometimes. I have definitely had comments about how I think I'm helping the horse, or I think I'm making a difference to their body. I've had cowboys straight up laugh at what I'm doing, or say that I'm just standing around doing nothing, getting paid for it. You have to be able to take those comments and just kind of push them to the side. Let them go in one ear and out the other. And whenever you get the chance, talk to those people. Educate them. Help them understand what exactly you're doing and explain the science behind it. You might just find that they're more open to bodywork than what they initially thought. Lastly, our fifth point, and this may ruffle some feathers. I might have some people that disagree with me on this, but I don't believe that equine bodywork is a part-time profession. If you look at veterinarians, they go to school for a minimum of 8 years. And I don't know of any vets that do it only part-time. The reason this is that vets go to school, they learn so much and they spend so much time practicing, is so that they don't cause any harm to the horse. They want to do the absolute best with the knowledge that they have to help that horse be better. And while bodywork is not as extensive, I'm not saying that bodyworkers should have to do an 8-year degree program. I am saying that it is just as serious. Bodyworkers are obligated to help the horses, not hurt them, and that requires a significant amount of time. My business is kind of split into 3 parts. So the first part is actually getting out there, working with clients, getting my hands on horses, and getting in practice. The second part of my business is all of the admin work, all of the time, making YouTube videos, working on social media, accounting, all the things to keep my business legitimate. And then the third part is continuing education. There is always more to learn about the body. And when I put those 3 things together, the physical work, the admin work, and the continuing education work, that is a full-time job. There is a lot to do there. And if I missed one of those pieces, my business wouldn't be legitimate. I wouldn't have the skills to be working on horses, and I wouldn't be furthering my knowledge. So in my opinion, bodywork really is a full-time commitment. You can't just do it part-time. Now, with that being said, I think that it's totally reasonable to start a bodywork business part-time, and then gradually, as you get more clients, you make more money, you work your way into full-time. That is totally okay, totally reasonable. But what I don't like is I do see programs out there that they're marketing bodywork as a way to just make some money on the side. Like, oh, you're short on cash this week, well, work on a couple horses and boost your income. And bodywork isn't like that. I think it should be taken just as seriously as the job of a farrier or a veterinarian. It's a very serious job, and we have a responsibility to help the horses, not hurt them. So that's it. That's the 5 things. Please let me know in the comments what you think, and then also be sure to subscribe if you'd like to see more videos like this. I hope that this video can prepare aspiring equine bodyworkers, but I really hope it doesn't discourage you. I know I definitely talked about some of the more negative points, but those are things to consider before getting into this career field. There are so many great things about being an equine bodyworker, and I'm hoping to maybe do a couple more vlogs and actually show you what that looks like in everyday life. That will probably be my next video coming up on this channel. So make sure to like the video, subscribe, and turn on notifications so that you can get notified when that video comes out. Anyway, that's it for today. I hope that you guys have a great day.